All right, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome in. Before I get directly into the story, I do need to go over the prelude so we're all on the same page and it makes sense. So to make this simple, as you can see on screen, Black Panther is basically King T'Challa. He's still up and kicking, and Wakanda is still hidden from the world, and vibranium is very rich and sought after, even from other races, as you'll see soon. Now, the big baddie and the antagonist we have to go over is Predator. Now, I learned this reading the issue. He has a very interesting backstory. Basically, for centuries, his race, the Yucha, have stalked for inhabitants of Earth. So they get their hands on Wakanda vibranium and everything. And we'll get into that. And these artists and everything, they did amazing work. This story is incredible. And as I read it, it gets better and better. So I hope you guys enjoy the ride. Wait, if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe. Tells the algorithm I'm doing a good job. Now enjoy this music video. That was awesome. All right, run the intro. The issue opens up in the Wolf Star System. From the Predator's point of view, the planet was one of those rare treasures of the galaxy, host to an atmosphere and abundant life. However, there were issues. Two rival clans had been given an opportunity to claim the throne. Each was chosen by their father, who had hoped to make their father proud. This king had never considered his sons equals. One had the strength of an entire hunting party, while the other didn't. It was he who had demanded himself respect. The father was to pass the spear to one of his sons. The spear would absorb abilities. The father's flavor had always been impaled by destruction, but in this case, with the loan of the spear, this made his son chosen. His son, with the guild in force, moved forward, and perhaps the future of the throne would be his. Bloodthirsty battles raged across the galaxy, many fighting, many winning. It's also revealed that his father had won the staff in a battle. This happened many years ago when he staged a month-long war. The older brother, with an access to arsenal and a material known as God Metal, which is what the Predators would call adamantium that they used from Earth. They would use it to rule the galaxy and fight. Not wanting to dishonor his father, the younger brother, in spite and rage of his older brother, decided that he needed to become better, stronger, faster, and smarter. So he had no choice but to integrate his body with technology that he got from Earth. Back on Earth in Wakanda, the Dora Mahia and Okoye and a group of soldiers are exploring the Wakandan forest. One of the men says a snarky comment. "Even him is no match for me." "Mind your tongue," says one of the Dora Mahias. "He is not but one man." In the forest, they hear a brushling. She says, "Don't listen to Okoye. One of us is going to enjoy this." They hear a brushel, they hear a rush, and jumps out. "Proof that I was right," she says. "Black Panther," in all his rage. "The Panther is on the hunt," she says. Going back and forth fighting, the Dora Mahia are confused. In the midst of the fight, T'Challa tries to taunt Okoye. Okoye responds, "Says the man who needs a vibranium suit of armor to protect me." They attempt to best each other. T'Challa informs Okoye of other means, including informing her mother and the Grand Council. T'Challa then says, "My armor's been compromised." Shuri, with a call of him, attempts to break in and hack the armor to see where the signal's coming from. T'Challa keeps fighting, knocks Okoye on the ground, and then Shuri breaks the signal. She says, "How can we stand by when so many suffer?" T'Challa says, "I will admit you are smarter than me, sister, but that does not mean you are wiser." Shuri then leads T'Challa to a secret place. Outside the foothill of the Wakandan forest, Shuri and T'Challa are walking. Shuri leads T'Challa to an open waterway, where she informs him that there is something special. Shuri rushes up the mountain. T'Challa tells her to wait. Shuri, confident in herself, loses her grip and falls. T'Challa catches her in the nick of time. After pulling Shuri up from the cliff, T'Challa and Shuri walk over to the edge of the waterfall. Shuri informs him that it's a beautiful place, and he responds and agrees. It is beautiful. Shortly after this, a short rumble occurs and a man pulls up from the water. Shuri informs him that she is aware of his presence. Majikina is his name, and he's a seer from the River Tribe. Back in the Wolf Star System, the young Predator is upset and can't get his mind off of the vibranium sphere that his older brother has acquired. Knowing this, he made a vow to himself that he would acquire the same material. After a short time and battles, the Predator himself donned a new armor with vibranium alloy that could make him stronger and superior as long as he concentrated on evolving. While it was true that he and what remained of him was little but left, there was still a chance to show his worth, that they would definitely be at a disadvantage, and their loss was not an honest one. As soon as he understood what his father's maneuvering was against him, he had arranged for a backup plan. He had a hidden ship. This ship was located below a lake. They would have to travel to Earth. They would hunt down a source of vibranium and they would seize it. All archive data was made it clear that vibranium was not part of native geological reference. In his helmet, he had data and collected kinetic signatures that he could sought out frequently. He would also see through blips throughout the world, including in New York and Africa. This is where he got his hint and trace and signal of vibranium. Now, he also located that there was a frequency which was made to be hidden. This was Wakanda. Upon successfully locating Wakanda and the source of all vibranium on Earth, the hunt was on. Back on Earth, Maji was informing Shuri that all waters are connected and informing her of the life-threatening events that would happen in the future with the destruction of Wakanda. Now, Shuri, being surprised and confused at the same time, informed T'Challa of these events, not knowing what to make of these visions or what the future of Wakanda would hold from these invaders. T'Challa would ask, "What would you suggest?" She says they need our help. T'Challa, as a king, responds that they need to protect their nation, that vibranium is not a shreddable resource and should not be shared with the world. Shuri thinks this is selfish, and T'Challa informs her and reminds her that he is not just a king, but a protector. T'Challa, trying to ease Shuri, offers a suggestion and Shuri instantly declines. We then get a glimpse of somebody watching T'Challa and Shuri talking. With confidence, T'Challa says Wakanda needs help. Suddenly, with a splash from the fish and the birds flying, T'Challa is aware that something is wrong. Shuri asks T'Challa, what is it? Up in the ship, we see that the Predators are scanning T'Challa's suit. The Alpha in charge informs him that he instructed two of his parties to constitute their survey of Wakanda to see the suit and the vibranium they may achieve. They informed him that they were going hunting. T'Challa instantly notices that something is off. Birds are flying. Everything around him seems wrong. Then he runs. He says something is wrong. He leaps off the building and he informs Shuri, "Get the elders to safety. I will inform the Maji." "Okoye." "Yes, my king," she says. "I need you to join from another maneuver, but this time the stakes are real." "What is wrong?" she says. "I'm not entirely certain yet, but I believe something might be there." Shortly after, their communication gets cut. T'Challa notices this, and he says the comms are down, or jammed. Thinking to himself, he notices something. Breaking a neck, it's as if you were and then a bird falls. He's confused. T'Challa is then ambushed when he says to himself, "What has come to my kingdom?" Getting blasted and falling from invisible rays and beams, T'Challa falls into darkness, unconscious, and the cold mud of the swamp swallowed him up. The Panther has been tagged after all, not just by some, but by all. Back in the Wakandan decision group, Shuri is walking through with Maji. She informs him that they need to do something, that they're connected to the grand frame of things, that they're stronger together than they are apart, that they can make a difference. "We will open up our doors, and we will stop this. This is the control center." She requests access. "This is Shuri. Do you come in? Control. Your ship is approved for exit status." And in the background, we see a figure. Stabbed, gone. One man. "What was that?" he was saying. "Control, do you copy? If we help others, then others are likely to help us." We learn the plan of the Predators is to lock down the barrier so no one can get out or in. Shuri notices something is wrong. From beeps, beams. "Control, this is Shuri," she says. With a flash and a fire, Shuri is taken out of the sky, knocked down. The dome will now keep everyone out as well as in. Back in the Wakandan forest, Okoye and the Dora Mahia are walking coverlessly. She says to herself, "What was that Dora Mahia? She was supposed to come back." She did not know what was wrong. But scans, darkness. They're being watched, unknowing. "General Okoye, what is that?" She was a great warrior, not only because of her strength, but also her awareness. She saw the python curling around a branch. She heard the rusty chirp of a clawed frog, and she smelled the bubbling pocket of methane. Being swift and trying to take in awareness, she was caught off guard along with everyone else in the group. She screams, "Nala! Where is she?" Unknowing. "Eyes up," she orders. Dora Mahia cluster together back to back. As they all listen and move, strikes come from above. Blunt eyes of spears. "Fire electrical discharge now!" As they raise their spears and they shoot, one being falls from the sky. An enemy they see. Okoye lunges on top of him and takes it out. "Whatever that thing is," she says. There are more of them. Strikes, beams, and fires come from the treetops. They say, "Run!" T'Challa awoken in the darkness to the sound of barrages and grenades. It took him a moment to orient himself. He didn't know he had been struck by several plasma beams. He only knew that he would stand and fight as Black Panther. His memories were solidifying. The cloaked darkness, everything from the past. He says Okoye as he runs through the forest. What is the name of this beast, he says. Now his enemy had a face. No, Nala, he says, finding her. As he goes, moving back, he sees, I'm coming. A wire mesh not only done. Trapped, he sees her, but it steadily tightened as he came closer. He didn't recognize the specs or the technology, but he knew that vibranium was stronger. Where are they, he asks. They are nowhere, my king, she responds. Everywhere, but nowhere. On the Wakandan border, Shuri and the Magi are walking. But I am not certain I can say the same of Wakanda, Princess Shuri says. Princess Shuri, what has happened? Someone on the comms cried out. She walks over and runs, but everything went quiet, and when we looked, everything was silent. After checking, Shuri notices the system is corrupted and is very confused. Her attempts to hack into the system coding didn't go well, and she hears a screech. Upon learning about the perimeter breach, a scout is sent out. Attempting to help, Magi with clarity tries to inform Shuri that all waters are connected and uses his mystical abilities. He says, I can see the death of Wakanda in the future, and shows Shuri these visions. Shuri had worried about the ruin of Wakanda. Talking to the man, Shuri is distracted and doesn't notice the being behind her. She says, I'll get out. I'll get us out. I have to, and is pulled. Inside Wakanda, the jungle seemed suddenly to move. It was as if T'Challa was staring into a reflection, burning him to himself. Suspected before he grabs the reflection and it becomes whole. Black Panther, being ever resourceful, ends up dismantling that one being. He had always thought he would have to protect Wakanda, but not like this. But the threat came from beyond. It was a relief to see that through this creature, through outfitted him, he was still subject to the laws of tooth and claw. T'Challa had a plan, and he says, now you are the prey. T'Challa would have to prefer to imprison and destroy him, but the old crocodile might not last, and the Black Panther was sworn to protect Wakanda. With a throw, he got one. With no time to lose, T'Challa runs, not knowing he's being watched. The Utah listen, and they watch. The Black Panther has quietly disposed of one of his clawed warriors, and he would have to make amends. It was only a matter of time. A vibranium spear, the weapon his brother had used, which he was looking for. When Hale came through and requested his presence, he immediately left. He abandoned this quarry for another, for now. Hopping on a motorcycle and driving. The Great Mountain is where we're brought to. He was one of two mourning brothers, excited by the novelty of the hunt, while trying to focus on the reason his clan had come here, to Earth, in search of vibranium. God metal, the belly of the mountain it was called. A greed took hold of him, something unimaginable. He imagined his father and brother would be proud. With honor before him, the brief, violent pleasure of hunting could wait. Alright, that pretty much sums it up. These are the first two volumes to Predator versus Black Panther. There's a whole series about this, and I'm going to do a part 2 to this video where I'll cover the next 2 issues in the series. And if you guys comment down below which one you want to see, I might do Spider-Man or Wolverine versus Predator. Alright guys, if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, stay safe everybody. Peace.